So I barely posted this week. Uploaded nothing the week before. If you've been coming back to check on my channel, like, hey, why hasn't he posted? You may have seen some pinned comments and things explaining it. If you haven't, what happened was I received a strike. I think I may have mentioned this already. Seen a lot of videos, received no content moderation whatsoever for asserting far more than I have even suggested. Kind of tells me that it has almost nothing to do with the topic which was censored. I mean, that's fine. Be a self-centered, unself-aware moron. Be a douchebag. Report me. Disagree with me on something and try and get my shit deleted. Go right ahead. What you'll be deleting is the last footage of my ex-wife and I's deceased cat, the mother of 3 of my cat babies. You will delete the archive of the growth of my family of cat babies. You will delete footage of banter in between songs at Foo Fighters concerts. You will delete Pentatonix music that is, live performances recorded that other people enjoy because they're on playlists and such. A few of my videos of different types of things are on other people's playlists. That will be gone. You ever scroll through YouTube and you see some video from 13 years ago, some funny little thing that some guy's dog did? Those channels don't get deleted. I'm still operating under the foregone conclusion that soon enough I will receive another copyright strike. Or not copyright, community guidelines strike. And I will be prohibited from posting for 2 weeks at that time. After which point, there is still a rolling 90-day period in which a third strike will render the channel deleted. Not barred for a month, not just invisible, deleted. 6 years worth of content, 6 years worth of thoughts, opinions, documentation, and surreal events gone. For what? For why? For who? Some dumb bitch's PR firm? I get just enough connection to certain channels that I happen to enjoy and interact with that also causes me to get some bogus nonsense sent at me that, a 500,000 subscriber channel can get a hold of YouTube and say, hey, this is bogus, but I can do the exact same thing, and they're like, nope, sorry. Even in the response to my appeal, it included a little text box that had quotation from the transcript of the video. And in that quotation, the words widespread were not present. Glitches and errors, nothing mentioned. And because it is a documented on record with the law fact that people have in that particular contest been found to have done that, the guidelines state very clearly, and the thing is, YouTube doesn't follow their own guidelines. That was there was a guy called the ACT guy. I don't know who the person is or what his channel is even about. Totally different sphere. But this dude mentioned something about YouTube not being consistent with their own guidelines, and his channel was immediately demonetized. Now, if I get booted off of this platform, I may or may not go to alternative media. I don't want to select a new site. I don't want to pay to upload. I don't want to play with some dumb video game money, cryptocurrency token system to be able to make and post content. It is not worth that effort to do what I do. And there's nothing monetizable about what I do. I've considered reformatting ideas, and I'm still working on that. And I had mentioned before that I would let people know. There's a couple people I will let know. I may make a post about this before the shit gets deleted or whatever, but it's one of those things where you may or may not find it. If and when it happens, you may or may not realize it's me. If you do realize it's me, okay. What a channel deletion for someone like me also does is removes 1 million or more comments that I've left using this account on various videos over the last 6 years. Many of which have been informative, have received a little heart. Somebody who made the content loves my comment. And I'm not just being like, oh, look, I got acknowledged. No. I'm talking about not only that, but the response and dialogue, conversations that come from it. People saying, oh, I didn't know that. Cool, thanks. What else will get deleted on here? Just as an example of the stuff that I document, the reason why my channel should be allowed to persist is on the band Clowncore, on their official release YouTube. There are comments about the way deer have behaved in my yard. I have a couple of videos of me sitting on my porch playing Clowncore, just listening to the music and having a deer or two walk up out of the woods and come sit in the yard and listen to it. And a shitload of comments of people coming through being like, holy fuck, he wasn't kidding. Because I had this conversation in the comments on some of these videos. All of that would be gone. It's not just the immediate discussion either. It's when future viewers see that and go, oh, hey. Deletion of this channel would mean that my post-apocalyptic mukbang series would be gone. It would mean that my KNUF series would be gone. It would mean that my impressions series would be gone. It would mean that all of my curated music playlists, both public and private, would be gone. All I can say is that the people that are running it right now, I'm not talking the content moderation, I'm talking the service, the platform, the site of YouTube itself, appear to be definitively evil. That's the side that they're on. As such, I suppose there is a limit to how much good can actually be done on a platform that is put into being by evil. So, I don't know. Next topic, the world. Or at least I should say the world of people, men, as it were. Or of women, or of whatever. In much the same way that most of the black people I know don't so much give a shit about Black History Month, most of the gay, lesbian, bisexual, or transgender people that I know, of which I know at least one of each, several, many more of the more common gay and lesbian and bi, but I met a number of trans people in my time, don't so much give a shit about Pride Month because of what it's become. They, I don't think, appreciate their month being hijacked. Everything is crazy. People are stupid. Some people are waking up. Other people are just quintupling down. Some big TV spectacle with dismal ratings, apparently, rehashing a failed attempt to disqualify a person they didn't like from being able to run for office, which is just petty and unfair. Abuse of the system. Got a dude who should have been found guilty of lying to the government as a private person working through a seditious conspiracy, which would have led to the prosecution of other members of that seditious conspiracy. Instead was found not guilty by what is being seen to be a tainted jury. And now that it's done, there's nothing that can be done. Much like that other contest. Now that it's done, there's nothing that can be done. So I don't understand what the big deal is about talking about what actually happened. As the world relates to me and my life, I have had to switch from the premium gas to the cheap gas. This is not good for my truck. Oh, what a first world problem. No, you don't understand. My truck is my livelihood. My truck is the only vehicle that I own that runs. I try and keep it running. It's been hard to do that because that fucking guy has been taking a lot of everybody's money for like months. And only recently have we got it to where things are locked down on the rules at work. Uncomfortably so. And guess what though? Everybody else is making fairly. Everyone is averaging good money. So I'm back building up from zero again. The thing with this gas deal is I save about $5, give or take a couple bucks, over the cost of filling the same amount with the premium. I use about the same amount of gas. The truck does not have quite the same amount of power because the premium gas was allowing it to overcome some sort of a misfire that I have neither the technical prowess nor the funds to get taken care of, whatever it's going to turn out to be. I'm able to get it to run pretty well, running like 90% efficiency instead of 100% of what it could be doing. But running the cheap shit takes another 10% off of that. It's lumpy. It does not go as well. There's other shit on it that needs fixed that I've been wanting to get done. And at this point, I'm just about to be able to get some front suspension work done by skipping out on paying my bills so that I can get this thing done so that I can continue to work to earn money as the inflation continues to rise. Business is slowing. Yes, it's already the spring and summer, but business is slowing a little bit. The amount of money we're making is increasing because the cost of things have increased that much. As far as my barometer on, I guess like you could call it, local public, I don't know, mood, trust in the situation. Everyone's a little bit apprehensive. Everyone is a little bit unsure. They kind of are aware of what is happening and why. I have not been on social media, so I don't know how people locally are behaving on that angle. However, in the real life, in-person interactions, nobody is stepping out of line on any of it. That could be either because everybody is trying to keep their online savagery separate, or realized that each other are not the enemy. With the notable exception of the people who are so permanently stuck into whatever the brainwashing has made them do that they are going to continue to fight to defend the system no matter what. They are in the old Matrix metaphor, these are the ones who are most susceptible to an agent just popping in and whooping ass on you. With the exception of those people, everyone else has pretty much on all sides of things come to the realization that we are all in the same sinking boat together. It doesn't have to sink, it didn't have to sink, it may not be able to be prevented from sinking at this point. I cannot comment on any of the political shit happening. You saw my Timcast AFK video from a few days ago, and I was watching Rekieta Law when Jeremy Hambley was swatted the second time, and then Nick's phone went off, and he goes, "Yep, me too." What I can say is, if any of this gun control, safety, just do something legislation passes, it will probably be the red flag. And the problem with that is, those kind of swattings will become commonplace until the police realize that that's what's happening. And then they'll really only act if it's somebody they already knew about anyway, or if they were already knowing about somebody and in the process of doing whatever they were doing, there may already be a plan in place. So, accomplishes nothing. Do something, does nothing. Although, ultimately, it's a matter of constitutionality. That violates your Fourth and Fifth Amendment right, as well as your First Amendment and your Second Amendment when it comes to enforcing it. The government cannot pass a law that infringes your right to free speech. Your right to free speech being infringed by having your Fourth, which is unreasonable search and seizure, and your Fifth Amendment, which is due process, to attempt to infringe your Second Amendment through a red flag law. That does not stand up to muster. Whether or not that will be ruled on correctly is a whole other thing, but so much fuckery, so much weirdness. This big TV hearing thing has just kind of wiped out the narrative on everything else, which is weird, which is really weird for what they were narrativing right before that. So what everyone needs to consider and keep in mind moving forward, this is an election year. Everyone has a vested interest in convincing or changing your mind or brainwashing or propagandizing or something. The great prophet Jimmy Dore said of the 2020 year, "This will challenge your very ability to think." And he wasn't joking, and he wasn't wrong. He was very right. And the same thing is happening again. If you know that it's happening, you might be able to do something about keeping yourself from getting swayed or, taken over or whatever. But people were trying to warn before, so I don't know. I don't know if after everyone sees how much dishonesty, how much bait and switch, how much Mott and Bailey, as Tim keeps saying, how much manipulative, false, and obviously nefarious behavior from the one side is it going to take before people are like, literally, no, as I have already done, I will never vote Democrat again. I don't care who the candidate is. I don't care what. That party is dead to me. I will never vote Democrat. What is it going to take for more people to get that way, to open their eyes and realize what they're doing to them? It's abusive. It's terrible. Or are we going to get to a point where just before the election, some other narrative comes along that explains why this is the most important election in the history of ever, even though from the primary numbers indicates that the Democrats are not going to be able to summon enough liches and zombies to actually overcome the real people, the living eligible registered voters who are going to vote anything but blue. It's going to be the pendulum swing in the opposite direction of what just happened in 2020, where there were just enough people, maybe, who got so whipped up about, oh my God, Trump, we got to get rid of that guy. Only this time it's not about getting rid of a dude, it's about upending all of the fail, all of the wrong move, dude, that was boneheaded. All of it that has been done for almost 2 years now, that has just been wrong move after wrong move after bad decision after bad decision after stupid thing, most of which seems to be intentional. Are we gonna learn the lesson of fuck those guys forever, never again? It's gonna be the opposite direction. It's gonna be anything but blue. Doesn't have to be red. There's the yellow team, there's the green team. It's going to be anything but blue until that party is no longer able to function. And you watch as they continue to function without popular support, without anyone being elected from their party into any significant position of power. Watch them still somehow force themselves to appear to remain relevant. I don't even know how to explain it. I just know that's what it's going to be. About out of time here. This will upload once I go to work. You note that I've made no claims in any direction whatsoever other than fuck those guys forever, never again.